Hello, hello. Let's see. We have sound. That's good. Then we can get started with this morning's training because it is 5 a.m. Friends, thanks for dropping by, for saying hi. It is 2 minutes past 5 a.m. and we're about to start this morning's mobility session. For those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I am 41 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours a night. Last night I almost hit 8 and I'm very happy about that. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance, which is around 2,200 calories. I try to eat a lot of greens, a lot of variety, a lot of fibers, a lot of healthy foods to keep me going and to keep me functioning well. And I try to hit my protein goals on training days between 80 and 100 grams, and on non-training days between 60 and 80 grams of protein in a day to make sure that I stay fit and healthy, capable and functional. If you're watching on vertical, by the way, that's great. You can go ahead and switch over to the horizontal live stream, which is the one that I will put up on my on my page permanently. The vertical one here is just to help you find me and discover me if you're interested in watching and joining. For the sound's also better on the horizontal live stream because I have the microphone on there and not on the vertical one. Let's see. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I would like to feel fit, capable, competent for whatever life throws at me, and life can throw a lot at me. I've come to the conclusion that I would like to grow older and stay capable for as long as I can. I would like to be disease-free, discomfort-free, maintain my mobility, maintain my strength, maintain my endurance, be able to be self-sufficient not only throughout my 50s and 60s, but well into my 70s and 80s. And that is what I'm working towards, and that is what I'm challenging myself to learn about and to do with my daily lifestyle. And I'm making quite a lot of changes, and I'm hoping some of those will stick. So anyway, if you're interested in that specific journey and you want to know more about what I'm doing and why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like, ask away in chat, and we can have the conversation. And again, if you're in the vertical stream and you want to have a conversation, you go ahead, jump over to the horizontal stream, and we can continue the conversation. All right. I'm going to hit start, and we are going to get started because the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. And we have quite a bit of work cut out for us this morning. So first we're going to do the workout, then we're going to go for a walk, and somewhere in between we're going to do a podcast on food and nutrition because it's Tuesday. And on Tuesday we talk about food and nutrition. And I can tell you I am happy that I am back and that I am up and running again after having been sick or having suffered a common cold for a couple of days. And by the way, if you're watching, go ahead, hit like, subscribe, so we can continue the conversation. And do say something in chat. So, I already started feeling a bit under the weather. I think last week, Monday, started sneezing. Tuesday, Wednesday, it got worse. And Friday, it was a full-blown cold, which is lovely for various reasons. That cold lasted Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday. And, you know, like I said, my goal is to show up every day and to do a 30-minute workout. And in the bigger picture, over the course of a year, if I hit that goal 330 times, I think it's been a great year. So there you have 4 days where I didn't manage to show up and do that particular work. But looking at the overall the bigger picture, we can say that it has been a good year so far, and it's probably going to be an even better year going forward, because now summer is here and it's 5 a.m. and it's lights out. That means it's going to be nice and light when I go out for my morning walk. My hands just disappear from screen there. Let's see. That's any better, more or less. So this setup, I need to either move the camera further back, or I need to move the mats closer to the wall, or something. Oh, we'll figure that out, right? But after 4 days of doing nothing, yesterday I walked for an hour and a half because I wasn't sure how I felt yesterday. Not continuously, 3 times 30 minutes, just casual slow walks, because I had to transport myself to different locations. But that felt really good. I think the only thing you'll notice is that my nose is still slightly blocked. And that's it. And that will surely slowly fade over the course of a week. Let's just see how we're doing on the vertical stream. Anyone here? It looks like it. Let's see. I'm just going to turn you around. And Matt and Mouse. Hey, Matt and Mouse. Thanks for dropping by. I'm actually streaming horizontally on the channel. So the vertical stream is just there to help people find and discover. So if you want to drop by on the vertical stream, go ahead and say hi there. But it's good to hear from you. And I hope everything's all right in the tiny cabin where you're at in the world. That life's treating you well. The sound will also be better on the other stream because I am wearing a microphone. So let's see how this works out. I can't be wearing two microphones. We'll have to figure something out for this setup if it seems to work well, which right now it seems to be doing. So what we're talking about, surviving the common cold, which was all fun and games. Right. And all nice and pleasant to be back on my feet again. Probably notice a bit of shortness of breath for a few days. That's completely fine. That's a part of the recovery process. I think we need to be mindful of the process that we're a part of and how we're trying to recover from that. And that certain things just take time. You know, the virus took a couple of days to incubate and to actually make me ill. I think we will have to come to terms with the fact that similar logic applies to getting healthy. Our current health is the result, or our current health and fitness, I should say, is the result of years of habits, of incubation, and of growth of those habits, and of application to our daily routine. And if we want to change anything there, then that's also going to take time and effort. And by the way, we need to set realistic standards for ourselves, not the standards that the online world sets for us, which are unrealistic. See all those young people, super fit, super ripped, and even there, you know, at 41, sometimes hard to remember that most of the people in the world do not look like that. In fact, that is not the ideal to be after, per se. But if all you do is spend time on the online platforms and on the magazines, and that is all you see of people, and that's what you compare yourself to, oh boy, you are going to be miserable. And I think we need to be mindful. Hey, Matt and Mouse, you dropped by on the horizontal stream. I have to run, but I'll check for replay on this later. Have a great week. Thanks, Matt and Mouse. I appreciate that. And I hope you're doing well where you're at in the world. And I hope life is treating you well. And I appreciate you dropping by and saying hi. So, you know, the standard we set for ourselves, or the standard we want to hold ourselves to, should not be informed by the most liked, most clicked on Shorts, Instagram, or TikTok. You know, those posts and pictures. Because it's very hard to reach such level of leanness and muscle mass, one. Two, it's incredibly challenging to maintain that 365 days a year. And I know there are people out there who claim you can do that, and hey, all the power to them if they can. And if they get paid to do that, yes, that's fine. But if you're an average Joe like me, you're working, kids to take care of, you want to exercise, stay fit and healthy, and reach a level of leanness that improves your health markers and your fitness markers, but you don't have the ambition to run a modeling company, maybe a different standard needs to apply. And as a father, I also worry about the online environment my kids are going to inhabit, and what that's going to mean for them when they are faced with an online world that is so visually oriented. And there's so many temptations out there. There's a lot of discussions about these fitness influencers and what they achieve and what they are using to achieve those results, or whether they are or are not using anything. And as a father, those are things you worry about because you want your children to be healthy, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, yeah, let's keep thinking about that and keep talking about that, and simply be mindful that if you're on this journey with me here, it's not about the way we look, it's about the way we feel. And believe me, you start to feel better and slowly get fitter and leaner, you will start to look better. And hopefully you will start to see and feel more confident in your body. And you'll see that that has nothing to do with how lean or ripped you are, but more about how well you feel you're taking care of yourself, and you carry that confidence with you everywhere you go. And by the way, it's now summer 2025, right? If you were planning on having a summer body for 2025, you are too late. But if you're planning to have a summer body for 2026, you are right on time, because that 1 year could make all the difference for you. But of course, the objective doesn't need to be a summer body. Like, my objective is to simply get fit and healthy and stay fit and healthy for life and living. So, and that objective brings me to the workout mat every day for 30 minutes. And cumulatively, those 30 minutes have added up, and to be very honest, I feel incredibly fit and healthy to the point where, I now need to have my health markers checked, because I can't tell whether I am actually fit or healthy, or whether that is just an illusion. Because looking at myself, I'd say, yeah, we're probably doing all right. But what does my blood work say? What happens when they scan for body functions of any different organs? What is my fat percentage, more or less, if they measure it properly? How good is my VO2 max? How good is my solid base? Anything wrong with my heart? All kinds of little things that he'd like to know cholesterol levels probably in the blood. And what does my vitamin and mineral screening look like? Am I eating properly and well enough to maintain the right levels of nutrients in my system, etc., etc.? Those are all questions that, if we're very honest, can probably only be answered with a bit of science and a bit of research right now. And I think that is something that I need to be aware of and work on. Because otherwise, what's the point? I'm working on the knees there. We're going to move onto the bouncy ball in a bit. There we go. Now, because I have an appointment with the physiotherapist again. And of course, I would like to see some progress. So let's see where this set of exercise will have brought us. Oh, okay. 30 minutes, 30 seconds of break. Then we'll do that again. And then we'll do the Cossack squat. We're going to be done. It's nice, right? To be able to train with the ball. Let's see what benefits it will bring in the future. And the final one, hoppa, and the final exercise. And we're done for today. Let's just take a minute to sit and reflect. If you drop by to say hi and to watch, I appreciate that. It is 5:34 a.m. I'm going to record a podcast and talk about food and nutrition in a moment. So if you're interested in that, stick around the channel, mind the update, and we'll pop up in about 10 minutes while I make my morning coffee. After I'm going to pop out for a little walk to get some fresh air in and start the day. Remember, friends, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. It's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. It's a bit of kindness. It's going to go a long way. There are enough people out there who want to put us down, so we will lift ourselves up. All right? And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So let's get started on the day. Thanks for dropping by. Remember to hit like, subscribe, and we can continue this conversation in the streams, under the shorts, under the long forms. Please check out my long form videos. Watch a minute or two. Let me know what you think. And subscribe for the podcast so we can keep talking and keep getting fit and healthy together. Take care, friend. And remember, subscribe.